Today, the video will focus on products Denas and Scenar multilayer medical clothing. Multilayer medical clothing represents both independent and in combination with Denas and Scenar devices, wellness, healing technology. The idea to shield, protect, fancy person from external magnetic radiation has existed since ancient times. In our time of globalization, with the onset of the 20th, 21st century, these ideas of protection against unwanted negative radiation are more relevant than ever. By this radiation, we mean the most diverse sources, different intensity of voltage, different nature. They can be divided into two types. Natural sources, these are the electromagnetic field of the earth, the sun's rays, radiation from another person, and artificial sources. These are power lines, metro, trolleybuses, trams, household appliances, lighting systems, mobile phones, Wi-Fi networks. In a word, this is an electric smoke. Today, it is known that constant and instant electromagnetic radiation has a negative effect on the quick response systems of our body. The quick response systems of our body are nervous system. It reacts with impaired attention, impaired memory, irritability. These negative effects have long been proven. A number of studies have been conducted on people working under conditions of constant exposure to electromagnetic radiation, metro workers, people living near power plants, also subject to changes from electromagnetic radiation in our body, immune system. The ability to respond to some pathogenic microorganisms are suppressed. Immunogenesis is reduced. We began to get colds, infections, diseases more often. Thirdly, undergoes a change. Cardiovascular system. It is known that under the impacts of electromagnetic influence increases blood coagulability. Blood becomes thicker. This leads to changes in blood pressure, heart rate. The following on this list is endocrine system. It is well-known fact that under the influence of high electromagnetic voltage, the level of adrenaline rises. This leads to an increase in blood pressure, pressure surges. It leads to a thickness of the blood, a tendency to thrombosis. Industrial magnetic electroradiation is especially dangerous for a growing organism. These are children and pregnant. These problems are voiced and raised by organizations such as the World Health Organization. Numerous studies are being conducted, and this is one of the most important problems of humanity in the 21st century. The idea of creating our own local environment around our body in which radiation from our own body is not scattered into the environment but is transformed and returned back to our body has become a reality today. Man is also a source of electromagnetic radiation. He has his own biofield. A person has a certain body temperature and is a source of infrared radiation in the infrared range. We radiate heat. We can see this in diagnosis devices. Thermal imager esoterics call this an aura. We doctors call it a kind of magnetic shield around a person. It can be healthy and unhealthy. In the second case, there is an uneven distribution of the human charge over his body. Isolating, protecting your body from unwanted artificial radiation so that the body receives a certain respite, rest, diet, and remains alone with itself. With its usual radiation, such technology as medical clothes, OLM was born. This is not a medical technology of restorative medicine aimed at correcting the functioning of regulatory system, increasing the adaptive capabilities of the body. We have been actively using this technique for 15 years and receive only positive feedback from our patients. It is easy to use and has no side effects. Medical clothing is arranged as follows. Outside is a non-woven hypoallergenic material. Inside, metal polymer shielding layer made of films with metallization of micron thickness. Therefore, we cover ourselves with a OLM blanket or lie comfortably in an OLM sleep bag or put on OLM clothes. When wrapping shielding occurs, metallized film in OLM products reflects out the patient's own radiation, which returns to it and affects the body's self-healing mechanism. This aids in minimizing convective body heat loss, as well as in decreasing the intensity of the effects of external electromagnetic radiation. Thus, we create a diet or exercise for the body which is exposed every day to shock from any kind of negative radiation. After the use of medical clothing, the functioning of the regulatory and protective systems of the body is optimized, which leads to an increase in the overall level of health, harmonization of the emotional state, and increases resistance to stress and diseases. There are techniques that confirm this effect of medical multilayer clothing. One of these methods is diagnostic method, bioelectrography. This method allows us to visualize the radiation that comes from a person. Take a look at the GDF diagram. The study was conducted on a healthy person without any complaints, chronic diseases. After the 30 minutes one-time procedure in the OLM treatment blanket, the field around the person, increasing in size, became more uniform. The gasp that we observe in the initial state were filled with glow. The field closed. The use of medical clothing recommended in complex therapy for diseases of the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, vegetative vascular disorders, decreases of the musculoskeletal system. As an independent tool, medical clothing can be used to improve sleep, increase resistance to stress, relieve muscle tension. The use of medical clothing with electrical stimulation Denas and Scenar contribute to enhancing the therapeutic effect. All medical clothing is patent. Isenbayeva Elena, Russian pole vaulter, two-time Olympic champion. Between the jumps, she hid from the public and restores strength with the help of our healing blanket.
Thank you for watching.